Depression is a mood disorder, and like so many other mental health conditions, it affects different people in different ways. However, some of the defining characteristics and symptoms include a sense of hopelessness and worthlessness, a conviction that life has no meaning, and a bleakness in your general outlook. Oftentimes, people report changes to their sleep patterns. They may want to sleep all of the time and be very low energy and very fatigued, or they may be struggling with insomnia. They may find themselves very hyper, very restless, and very irritable and angry. Cognitive function is frequently impaired, and this results in a type of brain fog. So your ability to concentrate, your ability to remember things, your ability to make wise decisions is negatively affected, and consequently you end up feeling worse about yourself because you feel like as if you're failing in every aspect of your life, that you're no longer on the ball. Oftentimes there will be a complete disinterest in things that would at one stage have provided a great sense of joy and meaning. It becomes more difficult to connect with people because you become convinced that you are bad company, and there is a complete lack of interest in normal day-to-day activities. Libido level is usually affected, your appetite is affected, and just your interest in life in general is vanquished. Somewhat of a paradox in that the things that can alleviate our depression symptoms can frequently be the things that we least feel like doing. I mean, when depressed, the temptation to just stay in bed, to binge watch Netflix, to mindlessly scroll through social media, to drink alcohol, to eat food that isn't necessarily healthy is always going to be there. And the things that can actually alleviate our symptoms, things like connecting with other people, contributing, getting a bit of physical exercise, because again, depression hates a moving target, just taking care of ourselves, they can feel like these momentous tasks that just seem impossible. But this isn't the case for everyone. I mean, depression affects different people in different ways, as I said at the beginning. I mean, anytime I experience bouts of depression, I remain very high functioning. I still go about my day as I normally would, but just have this complete emptiness on the inside. But for people who are struggling to put anything into place, it is so beneficial to first of all realize that your cognitive function is being affected. So putting a plan in place can be really difficult, and just because you may not succeed the first time doesn't mean that you shouldn't keep trying. I mean, again, just realize that a kind of defeatist mindset is very much part and parcel of depression, and the more aware we are of that, the less likely we are to succumb to it. Putting things down on paper can be highly effective, and again, keep things as small and as easy as possible. What you want to do is create easy wins. You want to make things achievable so that you feel a little bit better about yourself. So even if it just means walking for 2 minutes up the road and back to your house again, that is better than nothing at all. Even if it's just getting out of bed and having a shower, I mean, that can be a significant win for somebody who has been struggling to take any interest in themselves whatsoever for a considerable amount of time. Trying to implement structure is vital. I mean, the more of a routine that we have, the more likely we are to fulfill the little goals that we have set for ourselves. And I'm not talking some crazy rigid structure. I'm just talking about having little things that you regard as non-negotiable, such as having a shower, such as brushing your teeth, such as eating 3 meals a day, and trying your best to stick with these, trying your best to connect with one person once a day, so that your entire day isn't spent in a state of rumination and a sense of hopelessness. Without trying to sound condescending, it is important that we try to divert or switch our focus a little bit to that which we can be grateful for. Now, I've been in a place where I'm like, fuck gratitude. I mean, I have no interest nor time for it right now. So I know how difficult it is. However, that being said, if you can even just find one little thing in your life that you're like, okay, do you know what? I'm kind of glad for that. Even if it's just the meal that you ate, or if it's just that somebody was kind to you or nice to you, or even if you just enjoyed whatever it is that you just did, then find a little bit of appreciation for that, because the more we can seep little bits of appreciation and gratitude in our day, the more we can begin to switch out of that place of pessimism and hopelessness. Medication can be extremely beneficial, particularly for anyone who has been diagnosed with clinical depression, and there is still so much stigma associated with medication. Now, it's not for everyone, it is not a panacea for depressive symptoms. However, that being said, if necessary and if recommended by your doctor or psychiatrist or whoever it is that you're dealing with, then take any bit of help that you can get. Never mind the stigma, just do it, because oftentimes medication can just give you that little bit of breathing space to begin to put a lot of the practices such as exercise, such as structure, routine, discipline, such as a contemplative practice in place. So it's just giving yourself that little bit of a starting point to move on from. And as you go along, you may find that it's then no longer necessary. But sometimes it's just about getting out of that rut. Go easy on yourself. I mean, when depressed, the voice inside your head is so punitive and so harsh and can make you feel like as if you are worth nothing. And it's just recognizing that that voice does not speak the truth. It's recognizing that there is always a point to everybody's life, that everyone has so much worth and so much value and so much to contribute. And it's just also understanding that how you feel now is not how you're going to feel forever. There is always hope. There is always something to live for. If you would like help in any way with any sort of issue you may be experiencing, get in touch with me on the website, fundamentals.ie.